Hi everyone and welcome back to another educational video here on my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome. This video is actually going to be a follow-up of my video on energy balance. If you haven't checked that out yet, please go and check it out right now so that you understand the context behind this video. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be talking about calories in, calories out versus tracking your macros, whether it's enough to track your calories or do you really need to go take that extra effort to track your macros. So if you're interested in this video, then please keep on watching. If you like the video, if you enjoyed, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends and family who might find it useful, and also hit the bell button so you never miss a video from me again. Now without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so now that I'm assuming you've already checked out the energy balance video, you know what calories in, calories out are, you know the fundamentals of weight gain and weight loss, right? So if you're in a deficit, you lose weight. If you're in a surplus, you will gain weight, period. Now, let's say using the energy balance equation, you have managed to find out how much you need to eat for your specific goal. Now, the most common goal in the fitness industry that we have noticed is fat loss. However, I'm sure there's a huge chunk of you out there who also want to put on some muscle. So now we're going to discuss both these scenarios, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of how you can sort of experiment with your macros so that you're following a more structured approach. Now, let's talk about weight loss, okay? At the end of the day, if you're in a deficit, you are going to lose weight, right? That goes without saying. However, the problem with merely losing weight is that it's not going to necessarily be all fat. Sometimes what happens is when people don't eat enough protein, when they're not resistance training, they end up losing a large amount of muscle while they are losing weight. And this is a bit problematic because as you lose muscle, your BMR drops, your metabolism drops, and that's not a good thing because that just means that your body is going to work at fewer and fewer calories, which means it's going to be relatively easier for you to gain weight after your dieting phase because your metabolism has dropped so much. Which is why when you are trying to lose fat, you want to make sure that you're retaining as much muscle as possible. Now, I think a lot of people, especially women, have this goal in mind where they're like, I just want to drop some fat and look toned, right? So when you speak about looking toned, you're just basically what you mean is you want to drop some fat so that the underlying muscle sort of peeps through. That's the definition of toned. Now, in order to retain as much muscle as possible while continuing to drop fat, only tracking your calories is not enough. Obviously, if you're just starting out and tracking your calories plus macros becomes too overwhelming, it's okay to start off by only tracking your calories and getting a hang of it. But I would highly recommend that you do look into your macros as well. For a lot of us Indians, while our meals are super nutritious, nothing wrong with Indian food, I am an absolute advocate for eating desi khana while trying to gain or lose weight. There's no need to, switch to a completely different style of eating that you're not used to, that you won't be able to sustain. Our Indian food does it perfectly well. But what we lack generally is protein, okay? So if you compare Indian meals versus meals in the US or in Europe, what we tend to see is that Indian meals are very carb dominant and very low in protein. So that is one switch that we need to make. Consciously incorporating some sort of a protein source into every meal that you have in a day can go a long way. So now, in order to determine how much protein you need for your goal of fat loss, what I would recommend doing is to multiply your lean body mass in kg by 2.2 to 2.4. So now, in order to calculate your lean body mass, you do need to get a body composition scan done. This can be done at any local gym or by investing in a bioelectrical impedance scale. I'm going to link the one that I use down in the description box. So once you understand your weight and your body fat percentage, you basically just have to subtract your fat mass from your body weight, and that gives you your lean body mass, correct? Just multiply this by 2.2 to 2.4. I would say 2.4 if you're somebody who's, heavy resistance training at the gym, say 5 to 6 times a week. If you're someone who is training maybe 3 to 4 times a week, or, a little bit on the lower intensity side, it's okay to do 2.2, but that is the minimum that I would recommend. And keep in mind that 1 gram of protein gives you 4 calories, correct? So now that you found out the amount of protein you need to eat in grams to retain as much muscle mass as possible, just multiply this by 4 to find out the amount of calories that you're going to get from protein. You already know how much you need to eat to stay in a deficit, so subtract the calories from protein from this total amount of calories, and that gives you how much you need to eat from carbohydrates and fat. Now, when it comes to the carb-fat split, this is something that is a bit more subjective. You can do a bit of experimentation here. Most Indians like their carbs more. They like their roti and chawal more than they like their ghee and their butter and all these things. So figure out a split that works for you. In terms of literature, there are a lot of studies that have shown that in protein equated diets, changing the carb and fat ratio did not have a significant difference in terms of results. So whatever it is that works for you, that you can sustain long term, try to find that balance. Generally, what I like to do is get 60% of those calories from carbohydrates and 40% of those remaining calories from fat. Keep in mind, 1 gram of carbs also gives you 4 calories, but 1 gram of fat gives you 9 calories. So now let's take an example. Let's say you need to eat 1500 calories, okay, to be in a deficit, and you have found out that you need at least 100 grams of protein in a day. So 100 grams of protein gives you 400 calories, right? So 1500 minus 400, which comes from protein, gives you 1100 calories. Now 1100 is what you want to get from fat and carbs. Let's say we are doing a 50-50 split, okay? Let's say that is something that you prefer. So 1100 by 2, you've got about 550 calories from carbohydrates and 550 calories from fat. So how many grams of carbohydrates do you need to consume to get 550 calories from there? 550 divided by 4, which gives you, I'm just going to put up the number here. And similarly for fat, again 550 calories, but this time we're going to divide it by 9 because 1 gram of fat gives us 9 calories. And this is how much you need to consume in terms of fat. Now you found out your protein, fat and carbohydrate split. Feel free to experiment a bit with the fat and carb ratio based on what you like. Continue tracking your meals on MyFitnessPal, and this is going to be a much better, much more structured approach towards your weight loss goal. Similarly, now let's talk about weight gain. Now, when you're trying to pack on some lean muscle, the protein requirement is generally advised at 1.8 to 2.2 times of your lean body mass. And similarly, you want to find your fat and carb ratio according to what works for you. So for example, let's say you need to consume 2000 calories in order to gain some lean body mass, and you have found out that you need, say, again 100 grams of protein. So I'm giving you a very, very generic example. So that is 400 calories from protein, right? So 2000 minus 400, you're left with 1600 calories that you can get from carbohydrates and fat. Feel free to do a 60-40 split, a 50-50 split, whatever it is that you enjoy, and start tracking your meals. As you track week on week, you may notice certain patterns in your way of eating. Perhaps you notice that you generally like consuming more fat than carbs, so you can adjust your ratio accordingly, or vice versa. So I think the moral of the story is, in order to gain or lose weight, obviously the fundamentals are going to be your energy balance, your deficit versus surplus. At the end of the day, it all comes down to that. But if you have a more specific goal in mind in which you want to drop fat while retaining muscle, or pack on some muscle without gaining too much body fat, you should look into the macros aspect of it as well. That being said, it's not necessary to obsess over these numbers. However, it's a great tool to keep you on track. I personally believe that it's possible to have this structured approach without obsessing over these numbers, without letting it get to your head, without having it impact your mental health. I personally love tracking when I'm trying to work towards a goal. Having that structure and accountability just helps me perform better. So please find what works for you. Hopefully, if you're somebody who's been looking for the answers to this question, then this video helped you out. If it did, please be sure to interact with me, leave me a comment down below. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. We are getting closer to 1000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, if you enjoy my content, and also hit the bell button so you never miss another video from me again. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.